Today we are putting the focus, and this has been a wonderful segment, putting the focus on hearing and hearing loss, which begins to affect people in their 50s. Matthew Wester is with us. He is a doctor of audiology with Ascent Audiology, which has locations in Glendale, Goodyear, and Surprise. You can reach Ascent Audiology at 602 863 4203, 602 863 4203, or you can find them online at AscentAudiologyArizona.com, and Ascent is spelled Ascent. Dr. Wester, essentially what this all really comes down to is quality of life. That something that people may have enjoyed and had no idea they were going to lose it, or at least to a degree at some point. Now they're in their 60s, 70s, 80s, and there is hearing loss and corrective measures. Walk us down that path. I think people might assume that you have hearing loss, you get a hearing aid, and it's off to the races. But it's not that simple, is it?
No, it's not that simple. Hearing aids are an essential device for treating hearing loss, but they can't be the total solution all by themselves. Hearing aids need to be used in appropriate conditions, and the more severe someone's disability, the more those environmental conditions matter. And that's primarily being within 6 feet of the person you're talking to, seeing their face while you talk, trying to have the room be quieter. At home, that means turning off a running faucet or turning down the TV when you want to talk to someone. And when you're in a noisy place, having people talk slower and more clearly. But really, the goal is to give people a better quality of life. Humans are social creatures. We're meant to be social. And if we're socially isolated because of hearing loss, it really reduces the quality of our life. It impacts our relationships. When there's hearing loss that's not treated fully, it can lead to a lot of frustration between couples and family members. And it's a shame if people don't understand all the tools at their disposal to have smoother conversations, but a richer social life, a better quality of life as we age. And that's really our goal, to educate patients about these things so that they use the tools that are out there and they get adequate coaching and education about how to use those tools.
Do you find yourself, in a manner of speaking, having to be a marriage counselor as people get on their nerves because they're unwittingly doing things that are not helping the problem? They're irritating each other.
Absolutely, and it's usually based on misunderstandings. And who we speak with most of the time, who we live with, our spouse or other family members, those are the people where we assume that we can talk to them from another room or turned away or in poorer conditions. And there can be frustrations that develop, and people can start to perhaps even blame one another. You're the problem. No, what you're doing is the problem. And a lot of what I do is to remind people, when you're having a conversation with someone, they are your partner. They're your conversation partner. They're on your team. You have the same goal. You want to say things and be understood the first time. And in order to bring that about, patients need to change their habits. What used to work when we were young doesn't work as well when we're in our 70s and 80s. And so I spend a lot of my time educating patients and their spouses about that. I really like to have family members come into the visits so that I make sure that they are educated about what they can do.
Now, we've talked, forget sometimes whether what we've talked about was on the air or not, but I'll just jump right into it, that we think that because when we get a new set of glasses, we just put them on, and if all of the all of the testing that the ophthalmologist or the optometrist has done was good, then maybe they have to adjust something a little bit, but then you're right back in the game. But getting a hearing aid, a two-part question here. What are the options that people have when there is hearing loss and they are going to get a hearing aid? And is it as simple as just popping it in?
There's a lot of levels of technology in hearing aids. Hearing aids are basically a computer for processing sound. And as computer technology improves, hearing aid technology can better support the brain and do a better job of slowing down cognitive decline. It's not easy to get used to hearing aids. It does take adjustment. The auditory system seems to be quite complex compared to the visual system. And we find that people need coaching and education to help them get used to hearing aids. And sometimes that means knowing how loud we want to set a hearing aid at all the different pitches as a prescription, but slowly bringing patients up to the level that's going to provide the most support, because it's hard for them to get used to their full prescripted amount of boost.
Now, there are organizations, I won't name them, but where you can buy them online or buy them direct from the manufacturer. Is that a good idea? Because you're basically could be installing a turbocharged hearing aid that needs to, in its application, be set up and directed by a professional such as yourself as a doctor of audiology.
That's correct. If people purchase inexpensive hearing amplifiers, they could do damage to their hearing, because that amplifier is going to amplify loud sounds to a dangerous level. So there's some safety features in hearing aids that amplifiers do not have, and it takes knowledge of what are dangerously loud sounds and what does it do at different pitches. Hearing aids are giving different boosts to soft sounds than to medium sounds than they do to loud sounds, and they have safety ceilings built into them. And really, to get the benefits of treating hearing loss, in my opinion, you need an educated professional to do the technical programming of hearing aids, and also, but more importantly, to do that educating of patients about how to use hearing aids.
Dr. Wester, this has been a fascinating conversation. We are going to air this and then keep it in our library so that we can repeat it. We have covered a lot of ground here today. This is something that people should listen to and take notes and consider very seriously. And of course, as with other things in terms of technology today, hearing aids are getting better.
That's true, they are.
Dr. Matthew Wester, Doctor of Audiology for Ascent Audiology, with 3 locations in the West Valley, in Glendale, Goodyear, and Surprise. I would really urge you, if you've heard anything today and would like the help and assistance of Ascent Audiology, to reach out to them. You can call them at 602-863-4203, 602-863-4203. You can find them online at AscentAudiologyArizona.com, and Ascent is spelled ASCENT.